No, it looks very similar. This feels like the Pacific, honestly, versus the Atlantic. What's that in the water? Whoa. Do you see what I see? Is that a...
Hi there. Welcome back to Living in the Pacific Northwest with Hal Byrd. Today we are in the Atlantic Northeast.
That's a little different, sure.
So now you guys know that we are in the Atlantic Northeast right now.
Shout out to Cape Cod.
Shout out. How often do we say that?
I don't know.
My name's Hal Byrd. This is my husband Jarrett, and we have a real estate business that specializes in helping people relocate from all over the country to beautiful Southwest Washington and the Vancouver metro area, as in Vancouver and Portland. I am a licensed broker and realtor in the state of Washington. And just a few short years ago, we relocated, and that process was
tedious at best, without having any friends and family in the area already. As you can imagine, it was a little tough kind of getting the real dig on the whens, the who's, the what's, the where's, the why's, all of that good stuff. So
we decided to make a resource to help people considering a move here and share our experience and what it's like to live, work, and play in Southwest Washington, the greater Vancouver area, and Portland Metro. And so that's what you get. It's a culmination of just that on our YouTube channel here. We talk about real estate, buying a house when you're moving, life here. You see a little bit of vlogs, insight to our life, which is why we were filming in Cape Cod, if you can't tell from the motif we have going on in our background.
Right. What we wanted to do was try to be the friend or the resource that we were looking for when we were looking to move way back when. So hopefully that this video and this channel accomplishes that and helps you out.
And we have to mention that this is our 50th video.
Cute at balloons.
Yay! So we just want to say thank you to all of you who watch and support and enjoy the videos, especially when you like, share, and subscribe. We've helped dozens of people relocate this year. So reach out to me. You can shoot me a text right here, 360-818-4438.
We're not experts. We try to give you our honest perspective and experience. So even though 50 videos on the grand scheme of things of some of our favorite YouTubers is small potatoes, for us it's a huge milestone and kind of just a part of the journey. And we're looking forward to the next 50 and hopefully 100 and sky's the limit.
So do you want to tell them what the mission of this trip was when we set sail out of old PDX airport?
Yes.
Which is the best airport.
It is really the best airport. The more airports we go to, the more we confirm that PDX is something special. Although one of our flights was canceled and redirected, and we ended up in Charlotte, North Carolina airport, which I have to say is pretty freaking awesome too. By and large, overall, PDX is really tough to beat. So the whole point of this trip was to come across the country, and I love how you said it, on the beach. So we left the Pacific Northwest and we headed to the Atlantic Northeast, which is a trip involving seeing my family in Philadelphia, a train ride up to Boston to spend time with family, eventually in Cape Cod.
Kind of piggyback the trips together.
Timing aligned. Obviously, because our channel is PNW centric, we have a lot of people reach out from all over the country. So we were curious to kind of, along this trip, compare some of the things that we've come to really enjoy and love about life in the Pacific Northwest.
And there's a lot of similarities between the Northeast and the Northwest.
There are. I was reminded just how much, but also reminded just how stark some of the differences are. Yeah. But some of the, we try to be positive and not throw anything or anyone or anywhere under the bus, because everything's not for everybody, right?
Correct.
But the East Coast has some pretty awesome things.
Some pretty terrifying things.
Shout out to Wawa.
Yes, shout out to Wawa. Cheers. Terrifying meaning those Philadelphia drivers.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot more hustle and bustle in my old hometown. You would almost think there was like some kind of epidemic breaking out, the way people were swerving around each other to run lights and everything else. It was different. I don't remember that when I lived there.
I felt like a little country girl going to the big city, like the Big Apple for the first time.
Yeah, that was a great description. That's exactly how I felt. So
the most common highway we're on is Highway 14, which is 2 lanes each way, and the speed limit is 60. And you rarely see people going above 60.
Right, let alone kind of swerving and being reckless. So
Driving
it was a little bit of a culture shock spending time in Philadelphia for those few days, and literally every time we got in the car and took a trip somewhere, we're like, what fire are they rushing to put out, right?
Like not stopping at red lights and...
Yeah, and literally like swerving around another car going into opposing traffic to run a light. Like, we probably maybe found some videos to put up like that.
Let's talk a little bit about flying out of PDX. What was that like? We had a flight that was originally scheduled for 6:30 a.m.
Yeah, and at the time of this recording, which is basically the end of October 2021, there are a lot of flight cancellations for one reason or another, but that actually affected us during this trip.
This is probably good for people to know, is that flying out that early, we were trying to get a lift, and there were no lifts available. We ended up having to get an Uber, which was like double the price almost of what it normally would be that early in the morning, because there just wasn't a lot of drivers out. So that's something to prepare for if you're taking early flights in the morning. So PDX was great. It was a Saturday morning, super crowded, like the most crowded it's ever been since we flew out of there. Normally we like walk straight through security, there's no line, but it was pretty crowded that Saturday morning for whatever reason. We got to Philadelphia finally after a long day of travel.
Long travel, again, a lot of redirecting and postponing. So,
anything else you want to say about Philadelphia?
Yeah, just I think I was reminded, and you were kind of smitten by some of the charm, right? Like part of the city where I used to live, Germantown, is an extremely old part of the city, and in adjacent to Germantown is Chestnut Hill, where you had some houses built in the late 1800s, early 1900s, stone houses, some really unbelievable, mature neighborhoods.
Yeah, Chestnut Hill is like the West Hills or the Nob Hill in Portland.
Yeah, so great neighborhood. Just enjoyed spending time with family, enjoyed kind of driving around, looking at some of the old neighborhoods, things that were historic to me, and showing off a lot of it to you, kind of, again, showing off some Philly favorites between Wawa and Tasty Cake and just some of the things.
Schuylkill River.
Boathouse Row.
It's a great time. Weather was perfect for us, which is fall weather, overcast.
Got some good rain.
Some nice heavy rain at night, and then it was cleared up in the morning, so we were out doing our little walk.
Yeah. But it's a lot more humid than where we call home.
Humid as in Y-U-M-I-D?
Y-U-M-I-D. Am I saying that wrong?
You're just saying it with your accent.
Well, how do you say it?
Humid.
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 No human talks like that. Humid. So, yeah. Humid. Anywho, we took a walk, and I found myself, it wasn't even necessarily a warm day, but again, found myself delayering because of the humidity and just the stickiness of it. And again, going back to life in the Pacific Northwest, especially as someone who's affected by high humidity and sweating a lot, I love the relatively low moisture in the air.
And so then part of our travel plans were, how are we going to get from Philadelphia to Cape Cod?
And this one here had the bright idea of, instead of driving the 6+ hours to Cape Cod, actually, run a car local. And then we actually caught an Amtrak train from 30th Street Station in Philadelphia to Boston, which was, in hindsight, a stroke of genius.
Yeah, the train was definitely a highlight of the trip. It was a 6-hour train ride, and it was super relaxing. The views, we saw New York City, which...
We saw New York City very well. We saw Trenton, New Jersey. We saw... It's funny, I've never thought about train travel until this trip. And now that we've taken... it just got a little taste of it. But man, what a refreshing way to travel. No stress from driving and the crazy drivers we talked about. You could sit back and chill. You can kind of take pictures. There's great things to see on both sides, of the train.
Seats were super comfortable.
Yeah, affordable, especially if you do it a little bit in advance. It definitely made an impact to me.
Yeah, it definitely felt like when we were like pulling into Boston, so we went from Philly to Boston, it was almost a little sad that the train ride was ending because we were enjoying ourselves so much, and 6 hours really felt like 2 hours.
Oh, yeah, I would say 2 or 3. It so went very fast.
So Amtrak, sponsor us.
Yeah, put the little blurb across the screen. Amtrak, get at us.
Yeah. What else? Oh, one of our clients' offers was accepted. They, was it the day before? No, while we were on the train, my clients went out to see a house, called me, said they want to make an offer. We wrote and submitted the offer, and by the time that we were in Boston, before we even left Boston, their offer was accepted. So just that was pretty exciting. To
toot your horn a little bit, if you guys are looking to buy, sell, or invest, obviously we always joke, everybody knows, and you can throw a stone and hit a real estate agent, right? We're being honest. Yeah. But the reason I think you're so unique is the fact that even while you're on vacation and seeing family and living life, you still kind of carved out time to service your clients, because just because you're busy doesn't mean that people can afford to stop their house buying process.
Yeah.
So just watching you work, I was really impressed. So if you are considering, which agent to call, honestly, there's no competition. Give Hal a call, 360-818-4438. Did I do that right?
You did it right. Thank you.
And let her make this experience for you just that much more, I guess, relaxing, like our train ride.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what we're up to. We wanted to come and share a little bit of our vacation with you guys. So we're gonna be here for another few days, and depending on how long it takes us to edit this video, I'll try to include some of the latter footage. We're gonna be here for Halloween. Are you doing anything spooky?
Spooky spot.
Spooky spot.
What would be interesting too for our viewers would be to draw some parallels from the Pacific Northwest to the Atlantic Northeast. And you did a little bit of that in the video that we shared, or will share.
Right, ready? Do it with me.
Right
here. We just traded one place with overcast, rainy weather for another. So here we are, and instead of being on the Columbia River, we are out over, I guess, the Atlantic Ocean. Visiting family, because we are lone birds in the Pacific Northwest. It's just Jarrett and I, until we recruit the rest of our family up there. And this is my mom. Hi. Are you going to move to Portland/Vancouver?
We'll see. I might move to Cape Cod.
Oh boy. Well, you're a New Englander anyway.
She is originally, without the accent, that's true.
Obviously, this gives you a lot of what the Northwest gives us.
Yes.
In the way of water, seasons,
Charm.
Yeah, that kind of that rustic, outdoorsy charm, right?
So I would say, first of all, we're not on the ocean in Southwest Washington.
Okay.
So we have something to do with sea level rise that's in our near future, or near to midterm future, I guess, depending on how you feel about it, or never at all. So I mean, these houses are gorgeous. It's also much colder here than it is, like the air is colder.
Yeah, this is pretty, like, what do you call it when you do this?
Frigid?
Shivering, bone chilling cold. There's only what, 50 something? Low 50s.
Yeah,
But like it's been low 50 in Vancouver or Portland. It doesn't feel like this. Only October.
And then I would just say the lifestyle. If you were living in Cape Cod, you have a peak season with tourists, and then a dead season, which also means that the resources are available to you. For instance, Trader Joe's is 25 minutes away.
Oh boy. How far is Costco?
I don't even know what Costco is. You know we can't live without Costco.
Uh-huh.
Whereas anywhere you live in Vancouver, you're not going to be, even if you live up in Richfield, you're only going to be 20 minutes away probably from Trader Joe's.
And where's the closest major city to Cape Cod?
Boston.
Boston.
Which is an hour and a half away.
So that's a huge one then.
Yeah, compared to Portland, 20 minutes.
You know what else is that if if there's ever some kind of emergency, we're stuck on the Cape with all these gazillion people with one road out.
Don't go down.
Whereas Vancouver was recently ranked in the top 5 cities to survive a zombie apocalypse in.
No, thank God.
So yeah, one way in, one way out. Not great for tactical preparedness.
They don't have a highway. It's fine. Evacuation.
I didn't notice that.
Well,
That's the one evacuation route.
yeah.
What else can I say about the Cape? Anything else? I mean, it's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
It's old school, but one of the things that you always say is that, and you can tell me if you think this is true, because you've lived both places, that the Pacific Northwest is a perfect combination of West Coast lifestyle and like the East Coast. Like it has East Coast and West Coast vibes going on.
Yeah. So I would say that this confirms all of that.
Yeah.
Because you get the similar, if not better, beauty, just because you have mountains.
Yeah, this is flat.
You're within an hour from the ocean if you do like this scene.
And actually, this doesn't look that much different than Oregon beaches.
No, it looks very similar. This feels like the Pacific, honestly, versus the Atlantic. What's that in the water? Whoa. Do you see what I see? Is that a dog?
I thought it was a buoy at first.
What the hell is that swimming?
What if it was just like a piece of wood?
No, I see something bobbing it that came down and went back up. That's a head. Or is there anything that could kill us from here? Is there any?
Did you zoom in?
I did. Look, I see something
Like a little
like a.
pattern, right?
Why am I whistling like a dog?
Now I know we're watching it. Huh? What was that?
It looked like a. It looked like a.
sloth or something.
It looked like a dog with big floppy ears to me.
Like it was black and white, right? We later found out that there are harbor seals around the Cape, and similar to the issues with seals on the Columbia River, fishermen are very upset with the presence and amount of seal activity and how it impacts their fishing. So you can see the harbor seal here that we saw peek its head up at us from out in the water. So mystery solved.
Oh well. So to put a bow on our mystery and our excitement,
How often does this happen to us when we're looking at the water?
Always.
And
we attract stuff. So again, if you're doing head-to-head,
yes.
in lieu of our living in the Northwest with Hal Byrd, victory goes to
Southwest Washington for sea level rise, for weather, because our weather is a lot more moderate and temperate than here.
Yeah.
For safety, if you had to evacuate, which if it says evacuation route, that means that there's likely reasons you would need to evacuate. You ever seen any evacuation signs in Southwest Washington? No.
And there's just a variety of having a major city within 10-15 minutes.
Yeah. Closer to a major city, safer in terms of
Weather.
disasters, whatever can happen. Sea level rise. There's a lot of things there. Is that it over there?
Judgment's in.
Did you see it pop
I
up?
do, yeah. All right, guys, we gotta go scouting sea creatures. We'll catch back up with you later. But just by and large, like, did you want to recap any of those?
I think one of the big things, like if we're talking about the considerations that a lot of people want to move to the Northwest, now I'm getting confused, Northeast, Northwest, Pacific, Atlantic.
Pacific Northwest.
When people reach out to me saying that they want to move to the Pacific Northwest, a lot of it is due to climate. So a lot of people are basically what we call
Climate deniers.
No. Like
Climate refugees.
They're migrating because of climate migration. And so it's funny that the storm was happening as we were coming into town, because it reminded us, number one, this place right here could easily flood. We're basically at sea level right now, whereas even on the Columbia and on Vancouver, which is part of the reason we like the Vancouver side, is that you have slightly more elevation. As long as you're not living like right on the Columbia, you're pretty much automatically gonna have some baked in elevation from the river.
Right. And you have a 60-mile buffer from the ocean. So
Right.
even though you have all of the beauty and nature that comes with the Columbia River,
And being near water.
and being near water, you have a 60-mile buffer from the Pacific. So where we're at right now, we're literally a few blocks away from the Pacific Ocean,
Atlantic.
the Atlantic Ocean. Stay in school. But interestingly enough, and as you guys can imagine, obviously the closer you get to the water, the houses get that much more nicer and elaborate. But to me, it's shocking how high the water is in relation to the homes. So
We saw some homes that were built up on stilts now, like the newer homes.
which I would absolutely do. But some of the existing homes are, literally there's a 10 to maybe 12 foot height from the current water level and the tide to where these houses are at. So again, unless you're in a serious denial mode, most people think and believe that there's going to be a level of ocean sea level rise that is definitely going to affect a lot of not only the East Coast but the West Coast as well, and a lot of kind of coastline areas.
Right, which is why we're like being 60 miles inland from the ocean.
Right. As a matter of fact, some people think that we might have the new oceanfront property in the next 10, 20 years or so.
We'll see, huh? That'll be interesting.
So that's kind of shocked me. Just
another reason people reach out to me is affordability.
oh yes.
So maybe they're living in Seattle or the Bay Area, and now that their job has approved full-time remote work, they realize that, okay, if I can live anywhere, I want to live in the Pacific Northwest, or I want to be able to afford a house, like a reasonably priced house.
But yeah, so people call you for looking for more affordability.
Right. Even here, we walked by a house. It was a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house, 700 square feet approximately. It was listed at $504,000.
Right.
So I'm gonna show that property here on the screen, and then I'm also gonna show you what you can get for $504,000 in Vancouver right now.
Right. With less taxes, less real estate taxes, and no state income tax.
Speaking of taxes, what did we find out about Massachusetts and taxes?
Massachusetts currently has a 5% state income tax for earned income, and then their
Capital gains.
Capital gains tax.
It said certain types of capital gains, so I'll pull up the research. Was that 12%?
12%.
So Washington has the best tax setup for people no matter what they earn,
Right.
because we have no income tax, we have low property taxes, and even if you shop or when you shop in Southwest Washington, we have a reasonable sales tax compared to all the other taxes that we have.
Right. So we should link the video you did where you talk about why the richest people in the world call Washington State home.
Yeah.
But no matter what your position, station, income in life, typically your dollar can go pretty far in Washington while having that full kind of lifestyle.
And I hate to insert this Oregon versus Washington thing here, but I'm going to do it anyway, which is that California is notorious for having high taxes, but the average person will actually pay more income taxes living in Oregon than they will in California.
Nobody saw that coming.
Nobody. So just something to keep in mind if you're kind of weighing between the Oregon side of the Portland metro area or the Southwest Washington side,
Right.
especially if you work remote.
Yeah. Another, going back to climate and stuff like that, one of the things that also kind of caught me by surprise was the type of weather, right? So again, we were out on the beach, which we love spending time at. But what was interesting, although the temperatures are about the same as what we left, mid 50s, for some reason the air, the wind, the way it hits is way different here
Bone chill.
than what I remember it in Northwest.
I mean, when I walk outside and it's mid 50s in the Northwest, I'm like, oh, it's a nice day out.
Yeah, it's
But
almost
here it was
like flip flops. I could have sandals on today, right? Or t-shirt. Here, absolutely different story. So after a while, it's almost like that cold at 50 degrees somehow penetrates into your body, and it was just interesting. I don't know what necessarily that phenomena is, but yeah, it just didn't feel the same. Even though the temperatures were the same on the thermometer, whatever. It felt way different here. So
I would also say that another thing people consider when relocating is, did you just blow in my hair?
maybe.
Is the job market. So being so close to such a major metropolitan area, depending on the industry that you're in, you might find better employment options in Southwest Washington. Yes, we have Boston here, but I mean, Cape Cod in the off season, it's almost November, doesn't feel like there's a lot of job opportunities here because it feels very dead. It feels, I don't know how you would say it, a little bit deserted, a little bit empty.
Yeah, it feels like a beach town. So if you ever went to a beach town, you have your high season and you have your low season. And one of the things that most people are looking for when they're looking for balance is the ability to earn a good income while still enjoying that lifestyle. And again, that's one of the, I feel like the unique things about Southwest Washington, Portland Metro, is that you can do that. So you can, be working away at your job, and that same day, depending on which direction you head, you can totally leave it all behind, literally within a matter of a half an hour. So it kind of gives you, we say it a lot on this channel, but like the best of both worlds.
And I think that's probably my biggest takeaway from this trip is that it's fun to visit other places, but there really isn't anywhere like the Pacific Northwest. Like it's really is home. I can't imagine calling anywhere else home at this point. It's it just gives you, it offers so much that it's truly, truly hard to beat.
Yeah, but like you said, it's great to travel. It's great to see other things, especially when family's involved, to get that perspective, to get a little bit different way of life. And experiences are one of the things that you can't really put a price tag on it. So the experience of taking the train, the experience of being on the Atlantic Ocean here in Cape Cod.
Seeing both sides of our East Coast family.
Yeah, I mean, those experiences are priceless and definitely very grateful to be able to take them. So, but looking forward to getting back to my beloved Pacific Northwest and Columbia River.
You almost refuse to leave. And I'm not lying.
No, she's not lying at all. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Again, this is number 50. Which one, is it reversed?
This way.
You sure?
Yeah, 05.
But it's reading left to right, right?
That's right to left. Is
right,
it?
But it's reversed. We'll see who's right.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, I tell you. So again, this was a fun video for us to do. It was kind of timely, being a little bit different. It also being our 50th video, so congratulations on that.
Thank you. Couldn't do it without you.
I know. You've done an amazing job, and I really appreciate how you're touching people all over, giving people a great resource, and like you say, being that friend that we wish we had when we were looking to move.
Yeah.
The light's really good there. The light's really good.
Oh, look at that. Hi, YouTube friends, future clients, and friends, and I was going to say future family, but I don't know how you would become family.
I was thinking we need to start talking about the abbreviation for your channel. So I was like, okay, living in...
LI.
Huh?
LIT, living in the lit PNW with HB.
Lit PNW with HB.
It's a little long. But we talk about on this channel what it's like to live in Southwest Washington. We really wanted it to be more than a realtor channel, a channel about real estate. It was truly designed to be a channel about what it's like to live in the Pacific Northwest. And part of life includes travel if you are blessed and fortunate and able to do so.
We're wrapping up our week plus trip to the East Coast to see family right now. We're actually recording our last day here in Cape Cod from, they call this Seagull Beach.
Look at that shot!
So
we can switch.
It is pretty amazing, the background. Obviously being on the ocean or any kind of bay associated with it is pretty magical for us at least. But we miss home. Can't wait to get back to the Pacific Northwest. Just wanted to shoot a quick outro as we kind of edit and put all the pieces together, different pictures and videos that we've taken along this trip, how it compares to where we love and call home.
Yeah, so if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, make sure to shoot me a text right here, 360-818-4438. We have some more travel coming up, more local Washington travel, so if that's something you're interested in and that's why you're here on this channel, we have some treats for you over the winter.
So just a bunch of outdoors activity that we're looking forward to partaking in, kind of getting back on the bike.
If you are in town in January, let me know. I'm putting it out into the universe. We're doing an outing with current clients, future clients. We're doing a nighttime, what do they call it? Starlit snowshoeing experience in Mount Hood. So I'm inviting all of our clients, but if you happen to be in town, you're welcome to join us. I won't post about it, so just ask about it if you're going to be in town in January.
Yeah, so hopefully you guys like this video. We don't know what it'll look like at this point. We just knew that we needed to shoot a picturesque outro to go along with the video. So hopefully you enjoyed it. We really enjoy you guys watching, subscribing, sharing.
Yes.
And that's all for now. Ciao from Cape Cod.
Yeah, from one coast to the other.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Ciao. So by all means, please like this video. If you didn't like it, hit the dislike button twice. Subscribe so you can get notified of new videos and upcoming projects we're working on.
Yes.
And if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, look no further
Then Hal Byrd in the Pacific Northwest.
Hey. What
That
else?
was just off the cuff, huh?
Yep. And if you're thinking about getting into real estate, right? Real estate's a pretty cool career, great business. I've enjoyed it for the better part of 20 years.
Yes.
So
Which many people don't know.
Right.
There's like a whole side of us you don't know.
That's right.
But if you're thinking about,
but if you're thinking about getting into real estate, no matter where you are in the country, and you're looking to do it either really full or part time, you'd be an amazing mentor for such a new journey, part of your journey.
So comment below with any questions that you have about relocating. Again, you can always text me.
Let us know your favorite part of the East Coast, right?
Yeah.
I'll be curious to hear.
Or maybe your favorite restaurant or your favorite convenience store, like Wawa.
Yeah, so let us know your favorite part about the East Coast. If you come from the East Coast, and if you're thinking about maybe even relocating from the East Coast to the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, I'd love to help you. So we will catch you next time. Ciao.
Ciao. And it's a big deal, even though 50 on the grand scheme of some of our favorite YouTubers, can you like this? Is small potatoes. For us, it's a big.
What?
I said bleh.
Oh. Okay. Oh, you're very talkative today.
What did you want me to do? Sit here like Frankenstein?
No.